Hey guys, happy Thursday! Thanks for coming in tonight, everyone. Hi, replay viewers, and hi, YouTube viewers. Thanks for watching, guys. This will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies after this is done here, and it will also stay on the Penguin and Fish page on Facebook. Just do a search for Penguin ampersand Fish, and you'll find it there. We are going to try and finish up block 88 of the Splendid Sampler tonight. Hey, Jennifer. All right, guys, I'm going to turn you guys around and we'll get going. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Happy Thursday, everyone. So here we are, block 88. We finished up all the embroidery yesterday, and by that we basically just took off the embroidery stabilizer. If you want to see how to take off the sticky Fabricelli stabilizer, be sure to check out yesterday's video. That was all we did yesterday, is take off the stabilizer, and then we pressed it, which got all the water out, and there's a special way of pressing it, so be sure to check that out. And we are going to finish this block tonight. I think it might be a short evening. Let's see how it goes. There's some cutting to do, some sewing to do, but we will have another block done, and I'm excited about that. Just trying to work on these blocks over this little holiday vacation from the Splendid Sampler. If you want more info, go check out thesplendidsampler.com. Yay, you got your Fabricelli today, Jennifer. That's awesome. Have fun with it. I absolutely love it. You can print your design directly from your computer or a photocopier to the printer, and it's awesome. So you don't have to do any tracing for your embroidery at all. You just stick it on and it washes right off. So, all right, I'm going to flip you guys around. We'll get going. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer, and I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. And you already printed one, Jennifer. That's awesome. I hope it worked well for you. And I have to show you guys, I broke out the sweater. Do you remember this sweater? We've repaired this a few times. Here are the goofy repairs that we've done on the live streaming here. Some of you, if you've been here for a while, you remember when we repaired it, but it's a big old wool sweater that my mom knit years ago, and it's my house sweater, and it was that chilly today that I had to break it out. It's the first time this year, so kind of funny. I think we did the elbows too. We did some darning. This is woven darning. And then we did some weird like crochet darning on the cuffs to get the cuffs back. It was all torn. Anyway, some of you guys might remember this sweater. Broke it out today. All right, I'm going to flip you around and let's get going. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to stitch, instead of doing, in the instructions it has all the edges, different fabrics. I think I'm going to do the whole thing in this blue fabric just to give it kind of like a simple frame. I think there's enough going on in here that I don't want to take away from it with a border. That's all different fabrics. I just want to kind of complement it. So I think I'm going to just take this dark blue, it's got a little bit of a pattern in there, a nice filler fabric, and we will just frame it with that. It'll be like really skinny, like a skinny dark frame. So I'm going to put that to the side for now, and first thing I want to do is cut my embroidery out. We need it in a 5.5-inch square. So I have my 6.5-inch square here, but to help me center the design, oh, thanks, Gina. I'm excited to see it all done. To center the design, it's going to be a little bit difficult because it only needs to be 5.5 inches, right? So to help me, here's a little trick. A lot of you guys might know this, but I'm going to take blue painter's tape. You can use any tape really, but I'm going to tape off, I'm going to mark it about as wide as my ruler here. And you know what, this is really thick painter's tape, so I'm going to try and rip it down the middle, see if that works. All right, so I'm going to mark my ruler at the 5.5-inch mark, just so it can help me be a visual guide for centering my design here. So let's do it over here to 5.5. There. Now we can see the smaller square, and that's what we'll frame this in. So that's going to help us a bunch. All right. So now it's just gonna visually, without that extra couple inches there, I can actually see. I can visually center it in here now. So I'm just trying to keep the edges all the same distance away. It looks like it's about a little less than 1/2 inch on the sides here. 1/2 inch, and about 1/2 inch, a little less than 1/2 inch on the sides too. So I think we're good right here. At all. I think that looks good. So, all right, we are placed. Let's give it a cut. Let's double check that I got my 5.5. Measure twice, cut once sort of thing. 5.5. All right. So I'm going to just hold that down there, and I will do these two edges. All right. And now I'm going to rotate that around, and we'll do the other half. And you know what? I think I'm going to extend this to the bottom there, and then we can kind of have it out of our way there. Oh, it's looking cute already, just with this clean edge. All right, so now I'm not using the tape. I can still see my little my 5.5-inch markings on the ruler, so I'm going to use those as my guide. Let's switch over just a hair. All right, 5.5, 5.5. That looks good. All right, one side. That should do it. Okay, we are done with that pretty white fabric. And we're also, there we go. Ah, cute, I love it. This would be such a pretty greeting card, don't you think? Could stitch some of these birds on the paper maybe. All right, so I don't need my painter's tape anymore, and since it's that nice blue tape, it comes off real easy. So that's garbage. And we're ready to move on here. So for our blue border pieces, so now we can kind of get a sense of what this is going to look like. You know, it'll have like these little blue edges around. I think that'll be pretty cute. I like this idea still, the dark edge. So, all right, we need 2 1-inch by 5.5-inch strips and 2 1-inch by 6.5-inch strips, and really, we could trim these a little longer than we need because we can always trim them off. So I'm not too worried about the size here. But let's see. What would this be lengthwise if we added together? This is 10 and another 12. That would be 22, 23. And I definitely don't think I have that much of this blue fabric. I think I got a pretty good fat quarter here. I think we might have to... I might just cut a couple strips down this way and like 2 1-inch strips, and then just have extra. I think that's the plan. You did not remove the Selby from the project. Oh no, you went to the doctor with a stomach virus. Oh, Maureen, I hope you're feeling better. And hey, Anna, thanks for coming. Ugh, I hope it's nothing serious. That's no fun. I'm just gonna give this a little press. And I'm going to cut along this little edge here. It's been cut with pinking shoes, it looks like. Alright. I haven't had the sewing machine out in a while. It feels funny. It feels funny having my cutting board here and the iron out and the sewing machine out. Alright, let's give this a nice edge. And I'm going to just cut 2 strips that are 1 inch wide, and I'm going to have an extra. It's going to be fine. Let's just double check. I want to double check this was 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inch. All right. Grab my ruler. Let's trim this edge off. Get a little closer there, it looks like. All right. There we are. And then I'm going to have to cut 2 because I'm not going to have enough with just 1. So let's just align the ruler there. Man, 1 inch is looking awfully small again on me. I could actually, since this is a border edge, I could actually cut this a little bit bigger and then trim down, but I think we're going to just stick to what the instructions say here. So let's do 2 1-inch strips here. Okay, there's the first one. You know, I probably could have folded this and done more than one at once, but oh well. I think half of all Canadians have the flu. Oh no! Yep, it is 1 inch. 1 inch, Jenny. It's a very skinny border. So it's only going to be like a ½ inch border when we're done once it's sewn into the quilt. So it's very, very small. So yep, 1 inch. 1 inch. Oh, it should be 1 1/2. 2 strips of sorted fabric, 5 1/2 plus 1 inch. Even though I'm not working on anything. Oh, Doc says lots of rest. So is this wrong? Is this supposed to be a different size here? Well, 1 inch minus the seam allowance, it would be. So isn't this right? We would lose a ½ inch on either side. So we'd have a ½ inch added to the top and a ½ inch added to the bottom. Yeah, a ½ inch added to the top once we get rid of the seam allowance here. So we get rid of a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here. So that in the end is adding a ½ inch because we got rid of a ½ inch. And then a ½ inch at the bottom. So that would give us 6 1/2 inches. So that should be right. I think it is. I think 1 inch should still be right here. I'm going to just keep going with it. So let's do one more. Yeah, because my square is 5 1/2 inches. So by doing the inch, we should be, I think we should be getting an inch on either side when we're done, or a ½ inch. Oh yeah, 2 sides. Oh, no problem. That's what I like you guys here for. You can catch me when I do all my mess ups and make sure I'm staying on task right. So, all right, there's our 2 strips. So we are done with this blue fabric. Okay, let's get these guys together. You know what? I think we'll cut them one at a time. This one I will double up and cut my 6 1/2 and 5 1/2. This one I'll cut my 5 1/2 inches out, and the other one I'll cut my 6 1/2 inches out, and then we'll have a little bit extra on both. Okay, let's get this guy. Getting a nice straight edge to start out with. Yeah, I could stack these and do them at the same time, but oh well. No problem, guys. I'd rather you say something than not, so then we can check at least. All right, so 5 1/2. That's right. Dots. I like using these itty bitty dots because I can see the edge really well. That's kind of why I like this ruler. All right, 5 1/2. We're good there. Oh, yay, Bonnie, you can see in here. That's awesome. All right, we got a cute little piece left over that we can use later somewhere or in a scrappy block. Okay, so here's my 5 1/2 inch pieces. And now I need my 6.5 inch. So let's do the same thing. We'll get a good edge on here. Try not to stretch this or anything. Those edges seem lined up. I'm aligning this bottom edge here just to have a straight square cut. Ooh, that felt funny. And it felt really weird. I think this, there's something a little goofy. This doesn't, my screw on here isn't staying real tight. I know I've said that before. I haven't done anything to fix it yet, though. Okay, we're still all aligned, and this one is 6.5. And again, it'd probably be good to err on this being a little bit bigger because I can always trim down, but I don't know. This will be a test in my scant 1/4 inch again, I suppose. There we go. This one has a smaller little bit, not as much extra. Okay, we have all of our pieces, so we should be able to just sew this together now. Let's see. They have the shorter pieces at the top and the bottom. So here are those. We'll sew those on first. And kitty scratching. Yep. And then these 6.5 inch guys will go on. I did cut those 6.5, didn't I? Yeah, okay. These will go on the other sides. Oh, I think it's going to be nice. It looks like really heavy right now, this blue border, but I think when it's skinnied up, I think it'll not feel quite as heavy. I think it'll look a little nicer. So, all right, let's just double check how they want us to iron. So they're having us iron it open. I think that's fine. We'll see how it feels. But we'll do these two first and press it open, and then we'll do these guys. So at the machine now. And it really feels like I haven't sewn on this for a while. So I'm gonna wing this without pins or anything. Let's just kitty scratch it into place here. That's looking pretty good. And we'll go a little bit at a time. I'm gonna get a starter in here. Or a, oh gosh, what are they called again? We were calling them starters for a while, but then someone had a better word for it. A leader, that's it, a leader. Okay. All right, I think we're still pretty matched up. I have my scant 1/4 inch is marked by my little hedgehog business card here. Oh, spiders, you call them spiders. That's a good name for them too. Mine is definitely getting into the spider zone. Some of them I've thrown away just because they're just too thick with the red. Alright, can't really chain piece this one because we're sewing it to just the one thing. Alright, so let's trim that and we'll do the bottom piece right away and then we will iron these first two edges. So now let's get this side, bottom side. Kitty scratch there. You never use leaders and enders until a Splendid Sampler. Oh yeah, me neither. Actually, Maureen, a friend of mine calls them sewing bugs. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I hadn't either, and my mom had, but I just never really got why. And someone had mentioned that it was the presser foot is sitting on the thickness pretty much of what this fabric is going to be, so it's an easier leap for the foot to jump from here to to my fabric, and also it doesn't leave all the giant big strings. You can just trim it off real nice. So those two reasons felt like a good enough reason for me to keep doing it, or to do it. I need the why, and those two whys seemed good enough for me. So, but yeah, I hadn't really done it till the Splendid Sampler either. it just felt like yeah, it saves a lot of thread because, you know, we only have this tiny little bit of thread here. We don't have like our big strands, like, you know, hanging out to here that we have to hold down, or I have to hold down, otherwise my machine sucks them in. I don't have to worry about that, which is awesome. And now I think it's a habit. By having this marker here with a postcard, I can just butt up the side of the fabric to it and get that scant 1/4 inch. I made a 12 block. Oh, fun! Oh, for the 182-day solstice challenge. Oh, neat. I don't know what that one is. I'll check it out. And they feel like giants compared to like these little ones. I know. I think all these samplers that are going on right now, these are pretty small ones, especially for how intricate they are. See, but here we're only using this much thread here by using a leader, just this tiny little bit of hanging thread instead of the big dangly long piece of thread. Okay, let's press this. So I just thought of this now, but this might be a little tricky to press just because we do have our embroidery and I don't want to squish the embroidery. So what I'm going to do is press this edge, just on the edge, just to kind of set it, and then I think I'm going to finger press it up and then just try and get right on the edge because I don't want to squish my embroidery, even though I don't think it'll affect it all too much, but, you know, still want it to be nice. I spent all that time with that towel yesterday to not squish my stitches, so I don't want to wreck them now, right? Although ultimately, I'm thinking before we quilt this, I'll have to iron it, but I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. All right. I'm still trying to avoid the stitches here. Let's go on this side a little. Theory, I think I should probably put some water. Oh, press face down on a towel. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I don't have my towel here from last night, but you're right. I could have done this on, like how I had the towel here last night. I could have done this on a towel. I think you're right. That would have been a very good idea. When we do that other embroidery one that we worked on last night, that one I'll have to get the towel out for. Let's see if I can just keep going tonight with this. I don't have a towel. But yeah, that would have been a real good idea. This seems to be working okay though. Just have to be a little more careful. So all right, let's still try and press it open, just so there's not so much bulk in there. Almost ready to get those other sides on. This is a great way to just frame up a block though. If any of your blocks are too small, you know, I know a lot of people at the beginning were cutting down their blocks to 6 inches instead of the 6.5 inches. If you've done that, you know, what we're doing right here, just the two shorter sides on top and bottom, and then the longer sides on the side. Longer fabric pieces on the side, that'd be a great way to frame up those smaller blocks. Just creating a little frame. All right, I'm going to just press those one more on the front here. There, that's pretty good. Make sure it's flat still. Okay, let's get these other sides on. Let's trim. Oh, that's just a little scrap. Bunch of little puzzles. All right, I'm liking it. So we'll still lose a 1/4 inch once it's sewn into the quilt. So the border will actually only be about this long. How much fabric you have? It is huge. Forgot you had bought planning to make something else like it. Oh, funny. Carol, I had just done that too. I went through my stash and realized how much there was there. So I don't feel so bad using some of my favorites for the Splendid Sampler. But yeah, I think with the Splendid Sampler 2 and the last quilt I made, I'm realizing how little fabric it actually takes to make a quilt. Like, I had this bin of fabric with the last quilt that I made. I had this bin of fabric, and I'm like, I'm going to use up this bin of fabric. And I swear you can't even tell that I scratched the surface of this small bin of fabric. Then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You don't need much to make a quilt. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's do this. And I mean, this really felt like I wasn't using a lot of fabric either for the Splendid Sampler. And we're gonna have like a full-on, you know, queen-size quilt here. All right, that's what I'm gonna make mine into when I'm done. So yeah, I'm in the non-buying of new fabric mode. Yeah, won't live long enough to use the stash. Need to go through and give some to charity. Yeah, and I've been saving like old shirts and stuff too because I want to use those in a quilt. So it's just like it keeps coming. And then, you know, and then I design fabric. So I purchase a bunch of my own fabric. So I'm not even counting as that as part of my stash, but technically I have all that fabric too, which is a ton. We're starting to work on cutting. Oh, just some cat fabric, Jennifer. That's awesome. That you have a tub just of cat fabric. But I'm starting to cut up my new fabric line, or I'm gonna be this week. So hopefully I'll have like little fat quarters soon, and then I'll put that up in the shop, and then I won't have as much fabric laying around here. Oh, Patty, you have a cat fabric tub too. Oh my god, that's amazing. I need a tub of cat fabric. Best kind of fabric. Oh, my brother and his wife for Christmas got my husband and me one of those pillows. I saw them on the internet, but it's one of those pillows that's like the head of a cat, but it's like a photo of a real cat, and then it's just like extra big. It's my new favorite thing. Alright, this is it here. All we have to do is press this thing and we're done. Oh, yeah, she wanted the boxers? Oh, man. That's funny. You made a quilt for a lady and didn't use the husband's boxers. Still some years and it just got... I think that would be a whole business right there. Just a store, like an Etsy shop or something, or an Amazon shop with just cat fabric. I think that would do pretty well. All right. Giving this a final little press. Again, I'm just going to set the seams here. I don't want to squish my embroidery. You're insulating the house with your fabric. That's funny. 10. Oh, jeez. All right. Here we are. Let's press that open. So if you guys are happy to watch this on replay later on Facebook, I don't know if you guys know it, but you can see the comments come up. Like there's a setting right underneath the video, like that little arrow or something, so that the comments come up as they're said, like at the same time. So sometimes, you know, I try and reiterate sometimes what you guys are saying when I'm talking, just because it doesn't always show up if that setting's not done. So if you want to see the comments as they come up, make sure you have that setting on. Otherwise, I think you'll just see everything all at once and not know what we're talking about in order. All right, I'm liking this little sweet border here. Let's quickly do the open seam thing again. I don't know if we really need to do the open seam, but I don't know. Maybe it laid a little flatter, so let's do it. Probably going on my stitches just a little. That bottom edge flat. All right, let's do this side. And we'll just quickly check this size and trim it if we need to. I might be a hair over or a hair under based on how good my scant 1/4 inch sewing is, but I think I was a whole lot straighter sewing tonight than usual, so that's kind of good. Haven't always sewn all that straight. Oh, Jennifer, I missed it on your bird. What about your bird block? I missed the first part of it. All right, first part of that comment. So, oh wait, you know what? Let's turn it to the front. Give it one last little press. Make sure that seam is flat. The seam is flat too. Yep, feels good. One little final press on that seam. Open this over here. I think this looks pretty centered in here. I think that whole tape on the ruler helped out. Oh, you've been on cloud 9. Oh, with that people commented on your bird. It was so pretty. And that's crazy that you have birds like that around. That's just so beautiful. That it's kind of like a parrot type bird, wasn't it? All right, here we are, guys. That is our little border. And then again, this will actually, once it's sewn into the quilt, it'll actually be skinnier. So it'll probably only be, like a 1/2 inch or so around. So I think that'll be just right, like a nice, cute little border. I think maybe a lighter color would have been nice too, but this kind of holds it all in a little bit. So all right, let's check the size real quick with the 6.5 inch ruler. See if we have to do any little trimming. There's a few little puzzles around the edge, but it should be pretty close because we weren't sewing all that much. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good enough here. I think I'm not even gonna worry about the fuzzles at all. We'll just leave them. All right, so here we are, block done. All right, I'm gonna flip you guys around and we will call it a night. So that was nice and quick to just put that little border on. And then I think tomorrow, why don't we try and get the applique going for this? So this, we have that spool of thread. And we have a big spool and 2 smaller spools. I think maybe that's what we do tomorrow. We try and get that done as well, or at least started. Maybe we get them attached, and then, I don't know if we'll hand embroider it or sew it, or I'm not sure yet. So we'll figure that out and get another bird block done or close to done. Done before we get the new blocks. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around and we'll call it an evening. Hello again, guys. So here we are. I always kind of like to see it far away a little bit. You can kind of get a sense of, I don't know, what it might feel like in the quilt a little bit. But I think that little border was a nice little touch on this. I like it. So, okay, done. I like it. Block 88 is in the bag. So, all right, let's hope we can get that other bird done or in the next couple days. And we're approaching 2017, which is crazy. I'm not sure if we'll do a scope on Saturday, which is New Year's Eve. We might go see the Star Wars movie because we haven't seen that yet. So that might be our Saturday. But I'll for sure be back here on the 1st, and I'm still going to be here tomorrow yet as well. So we'll get some more vlogs done before our vacation's over here. So thanks again, guys. This will go on to YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, and it'll also stay here on Facebook at Penguin and Fish, Penguin ampersand Fish, if you do a search for that. And then you can check it out again. And again, if you wanted to check out the video, yesterday's video, that's where I take the Faber-Selby off, my process for doing that, and we talk about it a little bit, and for ironing it when we're done. So check that out if you'd like, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great Friday. See you guys. Have a great evening.